Plumber's secret tips. When the plumber comes to your house and you're in desperate straits, no heating, no water maybe, a burst pipe, a leak, airlock, and the guy comes in and he's pretty quick and he's out the door within a few minutes. You think, what the heck did he do there? What happened? It's all done. And then you wonder, what was it he done? I'd like to know. Well, here's some of our secret tips you might never have known about.
Can I do it?
We can tell ours is leaking because the carpet's wet, but you can see it dripping down here. So that just leaves me now, because I can't pop this off, to actually unscrew the top and take this cover off. Okay, screwdriver. And you unscrew the screw. And then that's ready to be removed. There we are. You can see it's leaking. You can see the water all around there. Yuck. Here we go. So there's a little nut here, can you see that? So you get your adjustable spanner and pop it on there, and then you turn it until it goes tight. Can you feel? I can feel the torque there. Hopefully you can see that. That's gone tight now. So we're ready for the next step. Right. The next stage is dry it all off and then check it isn't leaking. You can only do that by looking at it and feeling. So it's got to be really dry in order to check that it isn't leaking anymore. At this point, leave the screw on the floor, don't lose it. Pop this back on, it wiggles down, and then turn it. And that feels quite loose. How is that too loose?
That's a tad too loose, so give it a little bit more. The old nut there, we call that nut the packing gland, by the way. So take the top off and give it a tiny bit more.
Okay.
That's it. That looks about right to me.
Okay.
I feel that now. It should be kind of stiff, but not too stiff.
That's it.
That's it.
Yeah.
Yeah, feel better?
Yeah.
That's it.
So now we just pop this screw back in, yeah?
Yep.
Okay then. Okay. And there we are.
That's it.
So it seems like I can fix it myself after all.
So your boiler isn't going, okay, leave it to me, have a look at it. If you'd like makes a cup of tea, I'm gasping, is that okay? Great, lovely, okay, she's gone. This is when we open the flap up, and there's the magic button, reset, yeah.
Open your hot tap. Now we're going to pretend there's no water coming out because you've got an airlock. Right, now I'm pretending obviously because I've not got an airlock, but put your hand over the spout and then gently turn the cold one on, but hold your hand nice and firm and you'll hear the water go up the hot feed pipe. Turn your tap off and take your hand away and you should start to get your water through. This is one way with these mixer taps of still being able to clear an airlock. I'm going to shut the water off on my valve though and just show you how easy this one is to check and do a really easy fix on it, okay? So first we'll take the lid off, okay? Take your lid off. And if you've got this type of system, which most of you do, there is another type, but this is the general number one type of push button. Obviously make sure the overflow is not running down there, obviously, because if that's the case, then you just need to adjust your ball valve or renew the ball cock. If you find you've got water running down this overflow, okay, I know I haven't, I've got it finally adjusted. Okay, so the main fix, fairly simple, we twist it out first of all, like so, and put it out. Okay, you see it flushing now. Alright, now I'm going to show you exactly all you need to do to fix these things. Right, here is our siphon. As you can see, the push button mechanism works like this. Okay, you push the button, obviously, and it goes up and down. Now, if you look at the bottom of this, you'll see there's a washer here. Now, you can get a replacement washer, but there is a really easy fix to that, and that is to take this washer off and turn it around the other way. Put him back on. Stick him down here. And put him on. Pretty easy. Okay, that's it really. Make sure there's nothing underlying around this. This is what it sits on. Okay, make sure that is perfectly clean with nothing on it at all. Okay, get your siphon and stick him back in the slot. You'll feel the right place for it to drop. It's usually just around about here somewhere. Pull him back. Okay, you feel because you can't pull it up. Okay, so we do that one again if you like. Alright, just pull it down. There we are, it's out. Now we're going to put it in. Just keep twisting until it sits in its slot properly. There it is in, and pull it round and we're in the slot. Okay, line it up square with your buttons with the cistern like so. There we go, mine's back on. Sometimes you find that it's not getting hot. If you've already checked the air valve and it's full up, and you check the other end of the radiator to make sure the Lockshield is fully on with the pliers, then it could be that this valve, the thermostatic rad valve, you just unscrew it. I've already loosened it. You may need to put a pair of grips on there just to slacken it off, but if not, just unscrew it and you'll get it away like that. Now as you look at that, you can see because it's full on, there's a pin there. Okay, and it's because this one's working, it's fully up, but this pin, if you look at it, pushes down. Now if your valve is stuck, get a pair of long nose pliers on it, then wiggle it and pull it up. If you can't, this is the trusty tool. The best thing to do is to tap that pin straight on the head like so, and it will pop back out again, and that will enable the radiator to work. If you're not cuckoo about it and that you don't want to, hit the side of it like so until that pin jumps back out of the slot to there. Once it's pinged up to there, it will work again. I promise you, your rad will come back on. And if it doesn't, then you've got other problems which may be to do with balancing and so forth. I've got other YouTubes on there, videos to do with other problems to do with radiators, so you can check those out. Turn it on, get the hammer, and with one good whack, give it a twack right on the top of there. Keep a nice cloth there, and all you got to do is unscrew it. There'll be a bit of water here when you unscrew it. Okay, there'll be a tiny bit, see it there? Just run out, hold on to it, take the screw out. A little rubber washer there, see it drop down. That goes onto that, so make sure you don't lose that. Put it back on, then you've got it there. Okay, put that down. Now inside there will be a screw. I know it's hard to see because there's water there, but if you get a finer screwdriver that fits in there, you'll feel the screw grip. Now I've got it there. Now I can turn the motor now. I can turn it round. I know it is free. And it's leaking out of that gland there. You can see the drip just coming off the front of it. Get your spanner and you put it on that nut there. As we do that up, nicely, fairly tight, not too tight. So you must still be able to turn the handle. So if you can do it so it's not too tight, okay, just enough to turn the handle, but not too loose. You can see the drip just coming off the front of it. Now it's actually leaking from the gland there, out of there. PTFE around the bottom of the nut there, can you see that? Wrap it all round, make sure it's in, and push it down with the gland. Now you can see it all sat there, so put it in, okay, push it back in. Okay, when you've done that, you should then be able to tighten it. Now it's starting to tighten now. Put it on that nut there and turn. Okay, you'll see it stop the leak in a second. As we do that up, nicely, fairly tight, not too tight. So you must still be able to turn the handle. So if you can do it so it's not too tight, okay, just enough to turn the handle, but not too loose. This is the usual cause and culprit. This is a three-way valve. You'll find this usually very close to your hot water cylinder, normal position for it. Now you may have two single ones of these where it's just one port here and one there, and there will be two of them. They're called two-port valves. This one is a three-way, the most common one I think. When they go, you'll find you either get no hot water or no heating, one or the other. It's usually no heating. But do please make sure you've done all the usual checks before you go here looking at this valve, i.e. turn your room thermostat up, make sure you've got power. Nothing's still working, this is usually the thing, but there is a nice easy quick way of getting it all back on straight away with no effort and not even any tools, and I'll show you. Here then is our three-way valve. Now as you can see, I've turned it upside down with a wire point. You won't be able to do that in your air cupboard of course, because it will be set a certain way and you're going to have to either put your head upside down or down the other way depending which way round it is. But look for the wire going in like it is there, and you'll see there that there's an auto sign this side and a manual side that side. The manual side is what we want just to get us over a hurdle for a while, get your heating or hot water back on, and it's very simple to do. There's a lever here, see that little lever, and what we're going to do is push that over and lock it into this little square here. I'll show you what I mean. Now it's sprung, because this is a Honeywell sprung return valve as they call it, and you've got to push. You might hear it go in like that, and when it gets over to the far end, push it up and let it drop into that little V there. You see that little V there? Now that's open, it's locked open. So now your heating or hot water will now go. They will work because it's been put into manual, it's overridden the system, and this will get your heating going. No problem at all until you get round to renewing the head of this valve, or even the whole thing if you fancy it. My gauge is well down, it's virtually zero, it's pressure dropped well away. You'll find your boiler will stop working. As you can see, there's two valves, okay, one on the main here and one on the return that's going into your heating system. So what I normally do is turn this one on, it will be level like that in line with the pipe, okay, when it goes on, and then we're going to turn this one on and start filling the system. Now when I turn it on, do it slowly and you'll hear it start to go into the system. It makes a little kind of mains noise, which I'll show you now, and you'll see your gauge start to rise. Okay, we have one valve on, okay, this side, on our return side, and this side is off. This is the one we're going to turn on, the one from the main, slowly. You'll hear it start to go into the system. Just turn it, if I can show you properly this way, you'll hear it go in, hear it? It's rising already, up it goes. We want that about anywhere between 1.2 and 1.5 bar. Here we have our thermostatic valve. There's many different types. This is just one of the various types that you can get. I always make sure the valve's fully on, like so, on number 5. You know where you are. And this should undo with your fingers, but quite often they don't. You should be able to turn this like that way, anti-clockwise. It should come off, but if it doesn't, a pair of these will do it for you. Nice and cheap, they don't cost a lot of money. And just get the grips around that nut there and just pull it that way. Okay, see that come undone. It should be very loose and easy to undo. After that you can do it with your fingers. Okay, once it's right off, just pull it away. And there we have it. I know it looks quite, how's that all going to go back on? It does. Some of them actually have a slot that it just drops into as well to make things easy. So now we just get the thing, face it to you, push it down, you'll feel it drop in. There's like a position where it drops. See that? If I turn that again, so you'll feel it drop in the position, and there it goes. So you know that that's the position down like that. And then you just do this thread back up. Now this time with no need to do it up with grips, should have been done up with grips in the first place, and just do it like that, tighten with your fingers. It's usually plenty, and that is it, and you can operate your valve as normal. I'm going to take you through a couple of the rad valves that you generally got in your home. First one is a thermostatic one, and it's this one here. Now as you can see, this one is on number 5, and that's full on. So as you turn it down, you can turn it down. A lot of them are set on number 3. But if you just keep going all the way past one, right round there until you reach that little symbol there, it will stop. That's off, it's on 0. That radiator is now completely and utterly off. Okay, so it's fairly simple. That is the frost setting, so that if you were away, it would just tick it on to prevent it from freezing if you was not at home. And that's basically a simple, easy thermostatic one. So you can see it goes clockwise, always a clockwise motion. Okay, and then back on anti-clockwise. That's that valve. Now we're going to take you through an ordinary valve. Here now we have the type of valve that most people have got and you come across in most places. This is an ordinary turn valve, and with this, remember, clockwise always turns it off, and just keep going all the way, squeaking him down until it reaches the point where you cannot turn it anymore, and that's it there. Won't go anymore. That radiator is now off. You won't get any heat through there. So to turn it back on, just anti-clockwise like so, and the radiator will now come back on, and that will be that. Okay, then the last type of valve you can often get is a Lockshield. Now these will just turn round and round. I won't do anything because they're not actually connected to the valve head. Now if you come across one of these and you want to turn it off via this end rather than the turn end, then it's quite simple, because you just pull this off. It's just a blank cap. There's nothing up there, you see. There's no turning point for it. And we're going to turn that with pliers. Now there's a couple of other caps that you can have. You may have this type that would be on there, and it will have a screw through the top hole there. If it's got a screw through there, you will have to undo that screw first, and then this cap will come off. Here's a different variety, one of the older ones. Again, it could be on there like so, with a screw in there, and you'd have to undo the screw, and then you can pull it off. Once that's off, you need a pair of trusty pliers like so, and again on top of the valve, and turn it clockwise all the way. Just keep going. It's a little bit fiddly, but just keep turning it and turn it, and there we are, it's off. When you can go no more, the valve is off, and that rad is off. So then to turn it back on, back we go the other way until we're back on. So a couple more turns, that's plenty, and that's it. I'll catch you next time with the next video. Derek 33, usual place. Okay, thanks a lot. Bye bye.